So because like 95% of our audience is female, Sydney, we need to know the love story. So I'm speaking for the whole audience, loves you and Andre, like very much so. You guys are adorable. Your wedding was beautiful. Was it raining?
It was pouring. There was tornado warning outside.
Stop.
Yes.
Okay, so was that frustrating, or were you guys like, Lord, you got us, man? Like, we don't know why it's raining on this day, but like, we're gonna make, like, what was it?
You know, he was great. He was great. I've always been like my wedding day is going to be the dream day of my life kind of girl. And so we were supposed to have the ceremony outside, the reception inside. And then a week before I found out it was going to be pouring. And I was like distraught. Mm-hmm. And I was like, Andre, it's ruined. Everything is ruined. And he was like, Sydney, it's not about the day. It's about the marriage. And I'm like, I hear you, but like rain, but honestly, it ended up being so beautiful and intimate inside. Like it actually, people were like, we're actually glad you had it inside. It wouldn't have been the same. And I think it just kind of made the space more warm. Like I felt a lot of people after the wedding were like, we felt like the presence of God in this room. Like it was crazy. And looking back, I'm like, it was just one of those opportunities to be like, God, I trust you. Like, I don't have control. I'm not in control, and I'm okay with that. And I'm going to cherish this moment. And like Andre said, cherish the marriage, not the day. And yeah, it was amazing. So.
So special. Oh, so special. I love it. I'm the same way. I think we had a teammate that we played with in college who had her wedding day planned out since like she walked on campus. Like she has like she just got engaged. So we're like, Mads, we can't wait to see what your wedding's going to look like. She just had it all planned out. Okay, Sid, so tell us the love story. How did you guys meet? How did your relationship evolve? And then tell us the engagement story too. Those pictures were beautiful as well.
Well, we met on Instagram. He slid in the
I was going to ask that earlier, but I didn't want to be like weird.
Yes, no, like, okay, so we had a mutual friend who I went to high school with, and then he went to college with her. So I guess he had like messaged her like months before, like, is Sydney single? Is she interested? And basically my friend just like never put us on. And so he took matters into his own hands, and he followed me. And so like, I remember looking at his page and being like, okay, like this checks out. But I was like, let me confirm with my friend. So I hit her up and I'm like, okay, just tell me what's wrong with him. Because there has to be something. Like, just tell me the flaw. And she was like, this is the same friend who never put us on. And she's like, I really don't have anything to say. Like, there's nothing bad. Like, he was focused on football, focused on school, focused on his family and his faith. And I'm like, sounds too good to be true. But I was like, I'll follow him back. And he didn't say anything for like 2 or 3 weeks. And I was like,
that's crazy.
I was like, this is like a waste of a follow. And then I posted a picture one day and the caption was like a song title. It was like, attention. And he DMs me the picture and he's like, well, you have my attention. How do I get yours? And I'm like, okay.
Not to be too direct. Oh my gosh.
Not direct at all. And from there, I mean, we started like texting and stuff. The first couple like weeks, really, we were just like trying to get to know each other, know about each other's families, faith. And yeah, we talked like just as friends, I think, for, maybe like 2 months before we like really started dating. Cause he was like, he made it intentional. He was like, I want to be your friend first. I want to know you. And so during that time, this was still COVID, like this was 2020 COVID, like September, October, November. He's like, yeah, I have to come to LA for a business meeting, so maybe I'll see you. And I'm like, during COVID, bro, there's no business meetings happening. So he comes out here, we go to dinner, and I could tell, like, I was like, I remember like the 4th day we ever like really talked, I was like, I think this is going to be my husband. I don't know what's telling me that. I don't know how to confirm it for sure, but I really think like this is my husband. And we started dating after like 2 months of being friends. We dated long distance. He would fly out like once a month to see me. I would fly there when I could because I was training at the time for the Olympics. And we dated for about 8 months before we got engaged. Which for a lot of people is like, that's not enough time. But like we knew very quickly. And yeah, the engagement was during my like birthday party after the Olympics in Arizona. It was a girls' trip, and I remember getting ready for dinner, and I walk out of the living room into the living room, and there's like a videographer standing there, and I'm like, who is this man? My friends are like, oh well, like we know you have a YouTube channel and your videos suck, so we're gonna make a video, and I'm like, girl, horrible cover. I knew at that moment, I was like, yeah, I'm getting engaged today. But I was like, yeah, just play it off. And so we drive there, and the videographer is literally sitting next to me in the car, like asking me questions. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I'm literally driving to my engagement right now. I'm like, what is happening? This is crazy. And I get there, we get out of the car, and like, someone at the restaurant like gives me like a card, and it's like, I'm sorry I couldn't be there to celebrate your birthday, but like I have a present for you out on the lawn. And he's just like standing there with like flowers, the candles. And I was like, Sydney, do not trip in these heels right now. It's not a moment for this. Like that was the only thought in my mind. And then the rest I kind of just like, my mind went blank. I can't even remember what happened.
Blackout moment for the rest. That's like the funniest thing though, because you know, like a lot of people haven't like an inkling as to when they're getting engaged. You can just kind of feel it, but you like want to be surprised, right? So you're just like, all your friends were probably so excited, and they're like, "Oh my god, she has no idea," and you're like, "Girls, I know, and I'm freaking out."
But also, like to a degree, I'm not crazy, but like I'm a detective. So like he had sent me like a picture of him getting a haircut that day to try to like prove he was still in Maryland. I saved it to my phone, and then I look and I'm like, this is from a month ago, bro. Like this is not. So I knew.
He tried.
I like laugh about it to this day. To this day, I'm like, you really did try. Like, and he's like, yeah, I should have done this and this different. I'm like, it was still beautiful. So like,
beautiful.
You know.
And honestly, like your girls were there. That would be so ideal for me. Like if I got engaged on a girls trip, like my girls are here to celebrate. It's so fun.
Exactly.
Wow. Oh, that's awesome. I was going to ask if you'd met him on Instagram, but I didn't want to be the one to ask, and I'm glad you did. So
yes.
Well,
that's how we date.
Sorry, go ahead.
I said that's how we date nowadays. That's
yeah.
Seriously.
2023.